Hi all, and thanks for joining us. We'll just wait a few more minutes as we've got lots of people joining us on the hour. So we'll just stay silent for a couple more minutes and then join on in. Thank you. Thanks all for joining us. We'll give it another minute. Thanks, Stephen. Hi, John, Alan, Samir, Chris, Mark Taylor, Bruce, Bryce, and Rachel. Hello, Rachel. Bunny also. Nice to see some faces, not actually faces, some names coming into the webinar.
Lots of familiar names. Hi, guys. Paul Bowkett joined as well.
Hi there, PB.
Hey, Pip.
Hi, Curbs. Mike, Amelia, Stephen.
Hi, guys.
Okay, guys, we'll kick things off. And look, and welcome to our April New Zealand Partner Webinar Series. In light of that, we're all digital online now. I'm putting my video up on screen. You're seeing the very unmade up version of myself. Hair scraped back in a daily ponytail, a t-shirt, and I'm sitting here with my Ugg boots on. Apologies, I do have a little bit of noise in behind me. My neighbours across the road, children all outdoors and love to scream, but they're also enjoying the sunshine here at the moment. So sorry for the background noise, but look, this isn't just the environment that we're working in these days. I don't know how many times my children just come and sit on my lap and just want to be part and seeing my colleagues on the screen. I hope you're all doing well. Hasn't it just been a sort of a crazy but adjusting 5 weeks into the new way of working? We've seen such acceleration of activity with the adoption of Teams and our partners really leaning in to helping our customers. Every day here at Microsoft, we have a check-in across the business at 4:30, and just the stories that we're hearing across what customers are doing and how we're enabling our customers in the market are just really heartwarming. And but look, we're coming somewhat to the end. We're now into level 3. I think the craziness seeing around just people, wanting to get takeaways. I think just the desire not to cook. I certainly know that from my point of view. I'm really looking forward not to having to make every single meal for my family. So looking forward to sort of getting somewhat back to the norm, seeing my colleagues in the office and going out for some coffee. I went past the office the other day on a bike ride, and it was quite nostalgic going past an area that I hadn't been in, that I do on a daily basis, to go to my old coffee joint and see the Microsoft office. So very much looking forward to coming out the other side and seeing what level 2 will bring us as a country, as a business, and to see how we're going to work through the next stages as we're going through. So look, we've got a jam-packed agenda for you all today. And so I'm not going to be taking too long at all in the content. And I'm just trying to move through the screen. Just not working for me. I think, Anusha, you might still have control.
Sorry, Pippa, I think you still do. Do you want to try the arrow keys?
Yeah, just not working through for me to move screen. Can you take control back and move through? I'm using arrows and my pointer. If you could take control back and just move through for me. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we've got jam-packed agenda for you today. Lots of key speakers online here that we're going to cover off some of the content. Me, quick update on Inspire, and then Ken giving an update on Enable. We've got such a jam-packed schedule of digital online learning coming across for you across the coming months. And we're going to hear from PB in and around some remote working resources and COVID-19 updates for you all. We've got Chris Jones, who's our new channel manager in for education, about how partners are supporting New Zealand schools. Dave Weimer on the Windows virtual desktop. We've got Susie Taylor coming on, choosing the right solution assessment for you. And we've got Nulia, a partner, coming to us by Insentra Group. A solution there presented by Ronnie, who's going to come to the mix, and then we'll dive into a Q&A. As always, please put your questions into the chat box as we're going. Got plenty of Microsofties online here who will be able to answer as we go, so feel free to just fire away as we're going, and then at the end we can come off mute and cover off any questions that we want to do from there. Next slide, please, Anusha. So, update from me on Inspire. So where are we at with this? So if you might have heard, we're normally coming up into around the timing we're starting to present and get a bit noisy about Inspire into the market. But given the global situation with COVID-19, Inspire this year is going to be a virtual event. So news that is hot off the press, and it's fair to say the team are pretty scrambling, going from this huge entity, that we run up in Inspire in July, and moving everything into a digital and virtual format. So where it's at this stage, the dates that it's going to be running is going to be July the 21st and 22nd. And the great news that I have for everybody is that it is free for every partner, which is a great news. So it means that, we normally take a contingent of around about 120 partners up to Inspire. We have the opportunity to share this content and with registration right through your businesses. So this is a new way in the new environment, but it's an opportunity to really share this information. So look, news is coming to hand as we're sort of going through the process of change. So I don't have much more available at this moment, other than that you'll be able to register via our Inspire app once it's live, which is going to be coming on the 10th of May, I think, at this stage. You'll be able to register, and the schedule will be folding out over the course of 2 days, where you can register into the streams of interest that you might have in and around the content that you're interested in. There'll also be the continuing keynotes. There'll be, leadership forums, marketing forums, etc. All still the content that we'll be usually covering. What they're just sort of working through at the moment is time zone and how we do live time zones, but particularly us here in New Zealand, or across the Pacific. So watch this space on that. At the next update in a month's time, in the May webinar, I'll have much more information that I'll be able to share, sort of drill into it a little bit deeper for you. But they're also looking to how they have all the fun elements and still a big known band. So we could end up having sort of a live event with a big known band on screen. I'm a little unsure, but I just wanted you to pencil those dates in your diaries of the 21st and 22nd. That may change slightly given time zone, but it will be in and around there, and we'll be able to update you in this forum. So look, that's enough from me. I'm going to pass over to my colleagues, who next up is Ken. So Ken, over to you.
So much, Pip. Am I coming over clearly?
Loud and clear, Ken.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much. Yeah, and I think I'll just jump right into it. So some of you may know me. I'm the enablement lead here in Microsoft New Zealand. And what that basically means is, I'll be talking a lot about the training events we have available from a Microsoft perspective. So the first one I want to cover up is actually Dynamics 365 Partner Run webinar series. So as some of you may be familiar, we usually get something known as the Dynamics 365 Partner Run Day, which is usually a full day that covers a lot of the new updates, readiness, and basically content around Dynamics 365. Unfortunately, obviously due to the current circumstances, we have not been able to run this as a live event, but we have decided to deliver this as a webinar series across the I can't remember the dates right now at the moment, it's just in the next slides, but we do have these new sessions. Yep, that's kind of covered around, as you can see in the agenda on the right over here. So it's covered across 3 days and around 2 hours each day. The dates here are shown in the Singapore time zone, but around New Zealand, it should start around 1400, which is 2 p.m. to around 4 p.m. on a daily basis from the 12th of May to the 14th of May. So once again, the content is here. There's a registration link which I'll put in the window after my session, just really quickly, if you want to sign up on this. But it also does break it down depending on what sort of audience and also what sort of things that you would like to get out of the sessions that are being presented here as well. So if we could move to the next slide, please, Anusha. The next thing we would like to bring up is actually the Microsoft Business Application Summit, which is coming up very, very soon, actually, on the 6th of May. So that's just next week. And we have open registrations, much like Microsoft Inspire. We have made it completely free to attend. So, if you do find a time to actually make it, please do consider taking a look at it. As over here, if you move on to the next slide, please, Anusha. Here is just some more content and around what this looks like. Actually, I will be sharing my screen just to talk a little bit more about this because I found something quite interesting, which I thought would be quite good for a lot of you to know about. But simply speaking, it's the Microsoft Business Application Summit. A lot of you would be familiar with it. Sorry. And it's really about showcasing the different kinds of Microsoft technologies and how they're applicable to it. We do recommend partners because this is not a partner-only event, but we do recommend partners bring on their customers along as well because it can be a really informative and it's always been a really great session. Unfortunately, when it's run live, being run digital, this is obviously our first time doing so, but we're really optimistic in terms of what is available. And on that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen very quickly. Apologies, Anusha. You have to take it back from me later. Let me just give a quick find. Where is it? Here. Yeah. So this is just my Edge browser. I hope you all can see that fine. But simply speaking, this is what the registration page looks like if you want to sign up for it. There's obviously more information here. But what I really wanted to dive deep down on is actually the different sessions they are available on the day itself. And as you can see, there's 162 sessions available. And it really covers, honestly, almost anything you want to know about the Microsoft technology stack, which I think is honestly quite amazing. There's a lot of effort that's obviously been put into this. So, at the very least, what I think I would recommend is, just do a quick registration just so you keep yourself informed in terms of what's available in the Business Application Summit, but also to just take a quick look through the catalog and see, exactly what sessions might be of interest to you. And you could just potentially target those couple of sessions, because we want to make it more of an interactive experience, both with this and all the webinars we're running. We don't want it to just be, you're sitting there at home or wherever you might be and just kind of listening in and, on somebody else talking for hours on hours. And we're really aiming for a lot of these sessions to be interactive for you to take an active part in, and it would be really good to get your feedback as well because I think this will be the first event. So we'll be taking a lot of these learnings from these large events and bringing up forward to further events such as actually Microsoft Build, which is coming up later next month as well, and further on down the line Inspire as well. So yeah, it'll be really, really great to see attendance. In terms of Microsoft Build, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of information on this that's been communicated to us at the moment, just because of the turbulent state that we're currently in. However, just wanted to put it out there. So if you do want to sign up for updates on how this is being run, or if this is of interest to you, please do sign on for this as well. It is also free, and this is geared towards developers within our Microsoft partner space, which is a good number of you guys as well. So that's all I want to cover. I'll put those links in the chat. I'll be around throughout the webinar, so just feel free to drop any questions if you have any for me. And I think that's it from an enablement perspective.
And Ken, if I can just jump in there before we jump over to you, PB, what I want to note there, particularly around our build and the likes of Inspire coming up, because we're going virtual, these events are now free. So I really encourage you to, take a look into these. These are opportunities across your business. If you're representing the company on this call, please do share the information, because there's many occasions when actually people in your business don't get to go overseas to get into the content of these events. You know, the travel itself, let alone, you know, the couple of $1,000s it costs to attend these events, it's an awesome opportunity to unlock this content across your team. So do take these sort of nuggets of information and share them across your business. And note that, you know, for the next 3 months or so, we are going to be in a virtual event space. Everything that we are working towards is virtual, webinar, online, digital. It's the new way, and it's unlikely that we'll be moving towards an in-person event status, at least for the next 3 months, maybe longer. So we're going to have to get used to the new norm and start, you know, scheduling these into our diary. But the opportunity with that is more people across our businesses get to tap into the resources. Over to you, PB.
Hey, thanks, Pip, and hi, everyone. I'm going to jump straight into it. I've got quite a lot of content to cover, and as with always, I'll rip through most of this pretty quick. Feel free to pop your chat questions in the questions in the chat window, and I'll respond to them afterwards. Okay, and we'll obviously make the slides available to you. So there is quite a bit of stuff in here. So first up, Office 365 name changes. Then we'll talk about some of the COVID-19 responses that Microsoft's doing and what we're working on, and then some more remote work resources as well. Okay, so hopefully most of you are across this already. Let me go straight to the meat of it. So let's build this slide out. So essentially from April 21st, we rebranded all of our Office 365 consumer products. So that's Office 365 Personal and Office 365 Home, and also all of our SMB, small, medium business focused Office 365 plans to be all branded under the single Microsoft 365 umbrella name. The primary reason for this, I've had a lot of questions about this, and I do appreciate that there are some, you know, at the moment confusion around it and a lot of questions while we're doing it. The primary reason is that there was just too much confusion around what was Microsoft 365, what was Office 365. And so we've really settled on Microsoft 365 as being the hero brand. But of course, Office is still the fundamental desktop application suite in there, and the services are all still the same. So let me just go ahead and build these couple of slides out. You should have all got these communications from either through Yammer or through our global comms process, but basically we are essentially moving what used to be known as Microsoft 365 Business to be called our premium quote-unquote product now. So you can see on here, Business Essentials becomes Business Basic, Office 365 Business Premium becomes Business Standard, Microsoft 365 Business becomes Business Premium, and the Office 365 Business, which was really just the Office client apps plus OneDrive, becomes now Microsoft 365 Apps for Business. And we also have changed the name of Pro Plus as well. So Office 365 Pro Plus is now Microsoft 365 Apps for Enterprise. So I can almost hear people sitting there groaning and going, oh no, you know, the confusion and things like that. But rest assured, guys, that there is a much bigger plan and strategy at play here. And I think you'll find, like what we did for those who were around back then, some years ago, when we used to have the small business and the mid-sized plan, and we changed all of that, and there was a lot of confusion for a while. And I think you'll find that ultimately that cemented our brand strategy and made things a lot clearer. And I think you'll find that this will do the same thing as well. It will take us a while to get used to it. I need to go and update all of my Outlook auto correct options now to the new names. So I'm still guilty of doing it myself as well, but I would like to ask your support in helping evangelize this and communicate the right terms to our collective customers. A couple more details on this, and here just a couple of icons to sort of show the difference. Our hero SKU, I want to remind everyone, is absolutely Microsoft 365 Business Premium. This is the full Office 365 or now Microsoft 365 set of services, plus, of course, device management with Intune, with our Azure Information Protection, Azure Advanced Threat Protection, and of course the Windows license and a whole lot of other services. And in fact, I haven't got it in the slide deck, but for those that aren't aware, as we've just announced last week, I think it was, that we'll have the full Azure AD Premium Plan 1 inside of Microsoft 365 Business Premium as well. And so lots of really good stuff continuing to be added and evolved into that hero product as well. So I would encourage you all to lead with that with your customers at all times. And we've got some great stories already. We're seeing this product really ramp up quite fast now, which is fantastic. We've got some partners out there that are already moving all of their Office 365, traditional Office 365 customers into the premium, business premium product. Okay, and just a couple more slides quickly on this, just to wrap up this part of it. I mentioned before the apps for enterprise, so there is going to be a little bit of confusion about this, because the reality is this is still Office. The Office brand is not going away, but we are evolving Microsoft 365 to continue to expand the suite. So what you'll see, not right now, but what you'll see over time is the Microsoft 365 apps for business and enterprise start to incorporate more and more capability into them, which is beyond just Office, as you know and use today. So that's something we really want to drive home with consumers or customers. So just a quick summary on what's not changing. There is no change to SKUs, pricing, features, anything like that. So when you go to order this stuff from any of your CSP providers that you work with, or from Microsoft directly, everything is still the same. It's just really a front end, if you like, cosmetic name change. And you will have seen all of our websites have been updated for that now. There is a few things still to do. Obviously, this is a massive feat to do. We have literally thousands and thousands of web pages with the naming on them. So you'll still see a few things floating around on documentation sites and things like that, which are in the process of being updated as well. Okay, couple of quick things to think about. I've already mentioned this, but start thinking about how you upsell customers to Microsoft 365 Business Premium. I'll just remind everyone that at this point in time, we have very good incentives and rebates on the Microsoft 365 Business product, which becomes Business Premium, or is Business Premium now, and they continue. So there's much more incentive to sell that premium product. And then also start thinking about, do you still have customers with Office on Premium? I'll talk more about that in relation to COVID just in a moment. And so we've got a whole bunch of resources here. There's the whole SMB SKU rename site on the Microsoft 365 partner site. Has videos and PowerPoints and documents and all that kind of stuff. And of course, we've broadcast that out to customers as well. And so let me quickly move on. I see there's a few questions in the chat window. We'll come to those as well after this, just because I want to make sure we get through it. You heard me last month talk a bit about some of the stuff that we're doing, things like trials and various things. We've now launched a full remote working, or rather resilient operations and business continuity site for the whole of APAC, rather than have lots of individual sites. And so the site has on it things like, obviously, how do you do remote working, but right through to great success stories and solutions around different industries, and particularly things like supporting healthcare, of course, at this point in time, and supply chain. And so definitely recommend you have a look at that site. You can refer any customers to it. And I would just also remind people at this point in time is Microsoft's not about trying to capture customers there and selling direct to them. If people fill in contact us forms on those sites, they're qualified by our various teams, and they are routed out to people through our partner search, our partner center referral tool. So if you're not using that, make sure you're listed in the partner referral, or you have a business profile in partner center for referrals. And so just a quick look at what the site looks like. This is just an example screenshot that I took of it here, which just talks about, obviously, a couple of key solutions we've got in terms of products side of it, but there are obviously the softer side and more industry side and thought leadership articles and things like that as well. And then we've also got a whole lot of blog posts. I'm not going to go through all of them. I think I talked about a couple of them last time. We've probably, to be fair, if I was honest, we've probably almost got too much stuff. But yeah, we're really clearly trying to communicate, Microsoft's role in helping organisations in this tough time. And so full list of those there, and a bunch of links to key services that can help you around fast track and offers and things like that. And then we've also launched a partner-facing site as well. And so there's a great video on there from Vivek, who's our Asia Pacific commercial partner leader, and also all the links to the critical content for partners. So we've tried to pull everything into one single place to hopefully consolidate and make that a lot clearer for people as well. And so a couple of quick updates. Gabriella Schuster, who's our Vice President for our Worldwide Partner Network, she has published a couple of blog posts, but this one was done about 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to read each of these just for time today. The most important ones for most people on the call will be we've extended usage incentives out. We've extended competencies out. So if you have a competency renewal during this current period up to the 30th of June, we're essentially extending that out, and you should have that facility available. In fact, it's mostly automatic basically through Partner Center now. A couple of things changing with some business apps competencies. We've also increased the number of digital testing centres. We've moved a truckload of stuff online. Of course, Pip's already talked about that, and Ken's talked about that. We've waived things like rescheduling fees, and we're extending exam voucher expiration dates, which is pretty cool. The big focus of the last sort of few months or prior to COVID was around new partner agreement signing. So to prevent disruption around that, we're postponing enforcement dates of that as well. So if anyone's still worried about that, hasn't moved to Partner Centre yet, doesn't know how to get the admin access to sign the agreement, you're all good for a good time now. Pip's covered Inspire. And also we made some changes a while back about software assurance and plans around changing some of that stuff. And so we're extending the vouchers now for an additional 90 days to make sure people can do that. And we've waived the on-site requirement as well. Okay, so just a couple of quick last slides from me. You guys probably all saw this, and we talked about it last time. We have made available E1. So Office 365 E1, which, by the way, the name hasn't changed on that product, along with E3 yet. So we made available the E1 product to customers in our managed segment and through our support channel as well. But we've also made it available through CSP. But after a couple of days on the 5th of May, or 4th of May, we'll actually change those plans. So we're going to change them so that what happens is you sign a customer up for them. You can still get trials as per normal, and Teams Free is still there. The 6-month partner initiated Teams trial is still there if you want to do that. But we are moving to enrolling people into essentially a 12-month trial or a 12-month plan, but they get the first 6 months free essentially. And we're also incorporating Business Basics. So if you think about what used to happen is we used to have 1-month trials of Business Premium and E3. We've now got 6-month kind of trials of E1 and Business Basic, which is the old Business Essentials product. But it comes with an annual commitment. So we'll start charging you on the 7th month. You can cancel it, of course, and there's a full FAQ on how to access and how to get these and how it works and things like that. But just be aware of that small change that we're making there. Okay, and yeah, as I mentioned, there's a full FAQ here which goes into all the details. Okay, and so just in wrapping up, I've just got a couple of slides here. We've kind of consolidated again a lot of the sites we had around the remote working stuff. So we had various blog posts for partners. We've put it all onto one site, and so this is all of the things that you would use to talk to customers about things like how you remote work. We've got a new workshop that's around secure remote working. and a whole bunch of technical guides and things like that that you can see on here. There's I'll just go on to the next slide. I think we've got I've got one more in here, just an example. There's a whole lot of content on here, guys. The short URL, aka.ms/partner remote work. Please bookmark that. It's got lots of really, really good content in there, from best practices guides, teamwork assessments that you can see here, both from a customer and user perspective, but also from an IT perspective as well. And so with that, I'm going to just close off, and there's just a couple of quick kind of things there. How do you deliver Microsoft 365 workshops? What are the best resources? Those are the kind of questions that we answer in there. And with that, I want to thank everyone, and I'll pass on to the next presenter. And I will come back to everyone on their questions in the IM window. Thanks all.
Cool, thanks PB. Chris Jones here. I'm just requesting to control Anusha.
Chris,
Sorry, I
how's it
didn't
going?
see any request.
It's not coming through.
Send that again. Sorry, thanks.
Oh, yeah, I'll try again one more time. Cool, looks like I got it. So, thanks for having me, everybody. My name's Chris Jones. I've recently joined as the Enterprise Channel Manager for Education. So, looking after the partner network, but specifically for the education industry. My role is a little bit dual-pronged. I focus on both the higher education institutions, so the universities and polytechs, and also across the schools, or what we call K-12, which is kindergarten through to year 12. And I thought it would be a good opportunity just to introduce myself and talk a little bit about the support that we're providing via partners in the school space currently, and a couple of the programs that we're running. They're actually being run through a colleague of mine, Otako, but he's off on parental leave, so I'm just taking over on this occasion to walk through them. But yeah, so I'll jump right in. So there's a few sort of key ways in which we're working with partners over the last few weeks and moving forward around supporting the schools in New Zealand, and those would be around remote learning training, so enabling them to move in this transition to remote learning. We've got some broader webinars and some remote learning training specific to Minecraft, and then the other one would be the Ministry of Education Schools Agreement. So what that looks like, if you're unfamiliar, is the Ministry of Education has a broad agreement with every public school in New Zealand, which means they have access to M365 A3, which is the equivalent to E3 from a licensing perspective. So all they need to do is turn that on, and we're doing that quite rapidly with a lot of partners in this space at the moment, just getting their schools up and running for remote learning if they haven't been already. So I'll dive in a little bit into some of these programs and what they look like. So what we're doing is we're leveraging some partners that we call global training partners. So some really good training organizations that we work with to essentially facilitate the training to the schools themselves. These remote learning sessions, they're specific to the individual school, so they're sort of on the ground training for educators and kids, to ensure that they've got the skills to sort of move into this new world of remote learning, and that's been very successful so far. We've got a bunch of those planned, so that these are links as well. So hopefully once you get the deck, you can click on those and check out the different partners that we have running those and when their sessions are coming up. We've got those running until the 30th of June, so that's really cool. The other thing is, so these Global Edu Day remote learning webinars. So these are a bunch of webinars that are run via partners and through our MIE experts, which is Microsoft Innovative Educator experts. These are sometimes teachers, sometimes educators, but always a person who's learning and teaching through Microsoft technologies in an innovative way. So there's some interesting stuff there to share with both parents and teachers and kids. So good to check that out as well. The third and the final one, which is really great, I think, and particularly over the last lockdown period has been really useful, is this Minecraft training that we've been running. And so basically what this is Microsoft Minecraft Education Edition was up until very recently only local area network multiplayer, but we've recently opened that to online multiplayer. And so these sessions are really focused on getting the teachers up to speed around Minecraft, how you can play online, and how you can incorporate that into your learning to really keep the kids engaged, particularly when they are at home. So there's some really cool sessions that we're running in that space. And look, that's it. So we're doing some interesting stuff. We're working with partners directly to support the schools and ensuring that they've got the technology and the skills they need to be able to remain engaged in this sort of strange time. But if you are a partner that you've got an interest in the education space, or if you want to reach out with any questions, or even if you've got kids or schools that you think could use some help, please reach out to us. Feel free to reach out to me directly. I've got my details at the start of this slide deck, and also there's the generic NZ education one that comes through to all of us. And that's it. But feel free to ping any questions in the sidebar as well, and I'll be happy to answer those. Cool. Just stop my control.
Thanks, Dave. Are you on the call? All good. We might move to Suzette, our next speaker. Suzette, are you on the call?
Yes, I am, but I'm not live.
One sec. I'll just get your slides up. Cool. Just request control when you're ready.
Do you want me to just flick through to mine?
Sorry, can you not see yours? Give me a sec, sorry.
Yay, thanks everyone. My name is Suzette and I'm the Solution Assessment Lead for Microsoft based in Auckland. So my team is responsible for working with partners like yourselves and customers to provide solution assessments. And Nushka, can you do the forward button? It's not working for me. There we go. So today I just wanted to go through at a quick, very high level, the types of solution assessments that we offer and how you can avail yourselves of those for your customers and also make use of them for yourselves as well. So the idea and the concept behind what we do is offering high value engagements to customers via partners on different solution offerings based around moving to the cloud. All our solution assessments follow a four-phased approach on assess and discover, and we have a variety of tools that help us with that. Plan and decide. So planning what is moving to the cloud, when is it moving to the cloud, and how is it moving to the cloud? Obviously developing a roadmap for migration and making sure that anything that is moved is on track for optimization as well. So these are the solution assessments that we have in our portfolio. Most of these are delivered through partner and by partner. And we also have the facility in-house from Microsoft to provide technical resource to yourselves as partner to help you deliver these solutions as well. So we have a secure teamwork assessment. So that is basically an assessment to help customers deploy teams, making sure that it's secure and address security challenges along the way. We have a cybersecurity assessment that looks at customers' cybersecurity and their maturity rating. So it's using the CIS controls and benchmarking them against those controls to give them a maturity assessment. And then when the maturity is low, obviously giving some examples of where they can improve their security posture, with the idea that this is something that is then repeated in, say, 6 months' time, where the goal would be that the customer's security posture would improve. And obviously, as partners, then that would enable you to deliver a service to help customers along that journey. Azure migration assessments and the cloud economics ones tend to come together and merge into one assessment, but basically we can provide tools and assistance to do Azure migration type assessment. So whether the customer is wanting to know what they can migrate now, what does that look like, what does the pricing look like, how do I right size that and tight size that for Azure, and the cloud economics assessment, how can I provide pricing to a customer on their different options, whether it be IaaS, PaaS or SaaS solutions, different ways of paying, so whether it's pay as you go or 1 year reserved instance, 3 years reserved instance, what does that look like? The tools that we have available for you to use also offer modules on TCO analysis. So if the customer provides you with what their on-premise or what their costs are now, you can produce graphs and TCO analysis to compare that to an Azure solution. Windows Virtual Desktop, so that is what Dave was going to talk to you about, but we have also a COVID-19 rapid response that I've got coming up on a slide to talk to you about that. So we have tools and resources available to help you deploy Windows Virtual Desktop and also do an assessment on it. So if a customer wants to have a look at pricing and what is a WVD solution going to look like, then we've got tools that can assist with gathering the data and doing that pricing as well. Contract optimization. So this is an assessment driven by customer. So the customer can come through to us and say, I've lost control of the type of contracts that I've got, what is best for me. I don't know what I should be licensing and I've got trouble in this area. So we have partners who are available to give independent advice to a customer on, this is what you've got deployed, this is the licensing that you own, this is how you can optimize your licensing contract, and this is the right type of contract for you. So those results don't come through to Microsoft. They fully independent to the partner who is providing the information. So looking at the types of Azure migration assessments that we can run, they're kind of based into 3 types of areas. And we have tools and resources to help you as partners to drive these assessments as well. So looking at infrastructure, so optimization, right size and tight size into the IaaS or SQL managed instance type platforms, application dependency mapping. We've got tools available for you to use where you can do the analysis of customers' applications, read the code, and it can come back and tell them what needs to be changed and, if needed to, even produce the ARM template. The dependency mapping looks at finding all the applications and databases across the environment and mapping them out so that they can see where they all join up together. And the tool also looks through quite a detailed analysis on that, and also what could be Azure view can look like as well. Next, please. Okay, so the secure teamwork assessment that we have available to customers is a 2-day engagement and created to help them get going up into teams at this time for as a COVID response. So these are provided free to customers. So if you've got any customers who are finding short of money at the moment and things are tight, they want to get onto teams, but they're are struggling a wee bit there, we've got two-way engagement that we can provide them. So the people who are providing, or the partners are providing them, basically come in, come out again. It's to help reduce cost to yourselves and cost to customers to get going. So we have these available if you have a customer that is in need. Next slide, please. We also have a option here for Windows WVD. So using a partner called Aperion, we can do this as a rapid response type solution based on COVID-19. So we've got a partner who can come in, do a quick WVD implementation. So it's using standard portfolio that's already up in Azure and available. So it's not a consultative approach. It's a come and do a quick assessment and get them up in working in WVD as quickly as possible. Then obviously the information and all the documentation is handed to you as the partner to keep managing that customer. So again, it's as a response for customers whose businesses are being impacted at the moment. They may not have all the types of funding available to get up and going running. So this is designed as a rapid response to get them up and running as quickly as possible. Okay, and that was me. So my details were at the front. Most of you on the call know me very well. If there's anything any questions, I'll stay on the call. If not, my details were on the slide, or give me a ping or give me a call, and I'm happy to take you through. If you are looking for tools to help you with these assessments, reach out to me. We provide tooling to customers, to partners at no charge to help you with these types of assessments. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzette. Sorry, Ronnie, we're just going to move back to Dave, who's now on the call. Dave, do you want to request control, please?
Yeah. There we go. So I've got control now. Hey guys, sorry it's a bit late to this one. I had an overlapping meeting. So yeah guys, I'm Dave Weimer. I'm the Windows Virtual Desktop Specialist for Microsoft in the Asia time zone. So my purpose is to help partners and customers adopt this new technology that we've got in market. It's changed in the last 6 weeks or so. We've seen a dramatic increase in not only the demand for WVD, but also the consumption of WVD. So what I'm just going to do now is just give you a really high overview of what it is, because there's still a lot of unknowns and uncertainty around what WVD is, and where it addresses some of the challenges that our customers are facing. So, sorry, I'm having problems. Cool. Sorry, just a bit slow to translate there. So Windows Virtual Desktop, this is at a really high level. The name Virtual Desktop is a little bit deceiving. What we've done from a video point of view is we have seen what's out in market today, and we've adopted the service that has been around for many years, and we've adopted it to be a cloud delivered service. Okay, so Windows Virtual Desktop is the ability for you, the partner, or your customers to deliver a virtual desktop out of Azure or a published application out of Azure. So what we've actually done is we've taken a very mature Windows 10 operating system and we've customized it in a way that will deliver the best user experience, being delivered from a cloud service. Okay, the same goes with the application. So in some cases, a user may, or an end user may only need a specific line of business application. It doesn't really make sense for us to deliver a full-blown desktop, so we'll deliver a virtual application. Same outcome, they still get access to that app. It's just the way they consume that application. What we've also done is we've integrated the features and the tool set of Office into the service. So having the ability to publish a Windows 10 operating system with your line of business applications or your standard applications on there out of Azure is really what we've tried to achieve with Windows Virtual Desktop. In addition to that, one of the other key features besides, really good user experience is we have the ability to pay for what you use. So one of the drawbacks with a traditional VDI deployment has always been, the startup cost is very expensive to get a single application or a single virtual desktop published, because you've got to pay for all of the infrastructure that is required, the compute, the storage, and the network. It's all very expensive, and the ROI when we do those sort of calculations doesn't really make sense unless we had a very strong use case there. What we've done with Windows Virtual Desktop, because it is a cloud-based service, it is consumption. You pay for what you use. So, the startup cost of the traditional video projects all disappear. There's no additional wastage from a infrastructure point of view when we start talking WVD out of Azure. You pay for what you use, and you right size based on your specific requirement at any given time. So it is a true cloud service that we're enabling here, and it gives us some benefits to burst up and burst down. So COVID has been a terrible thing for so many people, and having so many people having to work from home, we've been able to spin up and enable a lot of those work from home use cases for our customers. Now, in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, when we finally get over this horrible situation we're in, our customers are going to be able to scale back down. So they're only going to be paying for what they need moving forward. So that's a really big use case for us. I'm also seeing a lot of customers that have traditional on-premise VDI environments or remote app environments, or even terminal services environments migrating to WVD, purely for the fact that the WVD is an entitlement of the M365 licenses. So, we have massive license reduction costs because what we've done is we've bundled the service in to an existing SKU that a majority of our customers already have. So anyone that's got an M365 license, F1, E3, E5, is entitled to use the Windows Virtual Desktop platform. All they need to do is pay for the resources that those virtual machines consume out of an Azure point of view. Okay, so yeah, really cost-effective way to deliver a virtual desktop, virtual application service. Some of the scenarios that we're talking about, these are all new. Nothing new. They're all very standard. What we're seeing is a lot more of these are coming to play now, purely for the fact that the total cost of ownership is substantially different. The startup cost of these projects is really cheap. So financial services, health services, BYD is huge. COVID is a BYD use case. Call centers and branch workers. So the use cases haven't changed. We're just seeing more and more adoption there. I've just got a bit of lag here. If I look at and I'm just getting the wind up, so I'll just go really quickly here. If I look at a really high level architecture overview, there's three main components. The clients don't really care about. The service itself is the management plane, that is part of your M365 license. We work with Citrix and VMware, or you can go native WVD. It doesn't really matter to us. And then you've got your Azure services in your customer's tenant. So think of WVD as a service that's sitting on top of Azure. So you're bringing all of the goodness that Azure brings to the table from, everything you do today around multi-factor and conditional access and provisioning and deprovisioning workloads. WVD is just seen as another workload. The control plane in the middle is the secret source that joins the client to the resources in your Azure tenant. But as I said, it doesn't really matter if it's a Microsoft control plane, a Citrix control plane, or a VMware control plane. We work with all of them. And that's basically a really high level overview for me. Sorry, I rushed a little bit there. But yeah, if you have any more questions or questions regarding WVD, please feel free to reach out to the team and put me in contact with the guys. I'll hand it back over.
Thanks, Dave. Just for the remaining time, we have our final speaker, Ronnie. Sorry, Ronnie, about that. But take the floor for the rest of the time. Do you want to share your screen?
Just waiting for the approval of the control. There we go. Let me share a screen. All right, everyone, I'm going to try and get this done for you in 6 or 7 minutes. Hopefully you can see my screen there now. Unfortunately, I can't for some reason. Are you guys able to see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah.
Well, that's good because I can't see what you're seeing.
Sorry, it just disappeared again.
Let me try again. Let's see. Hello, everyone that I don't know. Hello, everyone that I do know. Nice to talk to you all again. I'm going to zip through this real fast. My email address will be at the end, or our email address will be at the end of this slideshow presentation. So if we don't get as much done as what we need to get done in the next 5 minutes, let me know. For those of you who don't know about Insentra, 100% channel-focused company. We only transact through partners. We don't ever transact direct with your customers. We've done about 100 projects in New Zealand. I'm speaking very fast. Done about 100 projects in New Zealand, 3,000 globally, 90 full-time employees, 8 Microsoft Gold competencies, and we also represent a bunch of different ISVs, of which Nulia is one. In terms of the problem we're trying to solve, we roll out Microsoft 365 and we try to enable the users, and often it's very difficult to understand what the users need enablement of, and indeed, if they have been enabled, are they actually using what it is that they need to use? So we can train them and enable them, but we don't know whether we've trained them on what they need to be trained on or if they already knew it, and B, if they're taking the training and the enablement and doing something with it as they go through. So what I'm going to do now is show you the actual platform. That was like the shortest Nulia introduction I've ever done. I'm going to show you the platform, and hopefully you will see a screen that I'm sharing here. And so what the platform that I'm showing is actually on the Insentra tenant. So I'm not showing you a bogus platform, it's actually the Insentra one. What you can see here is that I have achieved 34 skills. I have 5 in progress and 4 that need attention. The needs attention are really interesting. That's one of 3 different things. That's either A, I'm taking too long to complete a particular skill, B, I haven't used a skill in a while, which you can see down here. It's telling me there's a skill that I haven't used in a while, and that's because it's constantly monitoring what I'm doing. Or C, that Microsoft has released a new feature or function that's a part of the skill, and therefore it needs attention because I now need to go in there and learn this new feature or function. So Nulia works on the concept of enabling people to be able to use features and functions that roll up into skills. Those skills roll up into outcomes. So I have a look here. I've achieved these skills here at a master level, these ones here at a producer level, and these ones here at a user level. Most of the skills have producer and master. Some of them, like getting to know your Office 365, will only ever be at a user level. If I pick one of these, like using Teams to communicate efficiently, and have a look what's in one of those, and of course it's not clicking on there because that's what happens when you do a demo. A demo always has an N at the end of it. Let's use this one, integrating apps into Teams. So this is where it's talking about the skills to be able, the features and functions to be able to achieve this skill is to be able to share a file in Teams, access your OneDrive library, and add a OneNote tab. All of the skills have multiple different learning styles catered for, so visuals, audio, reading, writing. So if someone wants to learn by watching a video, they can watch a video. If they learn by a lighthearted approach, then they can take a lighthearted approach and learn the particular skill that we're talking about, this particular feature or function. Then what they can do is immediately go and try that particular function, at which point it will open the relevant application and let them try it. Nulia is always monitoring what people are doing. So if I go into all of the skills here and I have a look at the ones that aren't assigned to me, you'll see that I've already got 100% of this one done, 50% of this one, 60% of this. If I hit the plus sign, then the skills on the home page at 36 will go to 37, but then I'll only be able to do that 3 times and I won't be able to demo it again. So it's just to show you that it's constantly monitoring what I'm doing, regardless of whether I actually was assigned that skill. So there are lots of skills available as it relates to SharePoint, to OneDrive, etc. Those skills roll up into outcomes. Here are the outcomes, the ones that need attention here are front of mind. So Nulia is using artificial intelligence and machine learning to watch all the time and to help create that journey for me. They released this particular outcome recently, which is working from home with Teams. that has these skills within it. This working from home Teams is actually the newly starter edition. It's free for those people who have availed themselves of the Office 365 free licensing for 6 months. People can take advantage of this. So all the different skills, all the different outcomes have all the different skills in them. Here you can see the badges that people can earn. You'll notice that this says I earned this on the 20th of February, but it needs attention. Others I earned on the 12th of January and I'm maintaining. The engagement points here is how you can gamify the platform. How many engagement points does everybody in the organisation have compared to others? Where I see 1,200 spent means that somebody has actually gone and leveraged their engagement points to go and upskill in other areas. Then we have the Insights tab here. And Insights is where we get a lot of intelligence around what's going on in an organisation as a consequence of their learning. So I can see my direct team here of 4 at producer, 2 are at master, and 1 is at user. As the CEO, I get to have a look at the whole organisation and see where the whole organisation is. And then I can drill down and get other reports. But because it's now 3 p.m, I'm going to stop talking. I will reshare that screen that had the presentation on it for you so that you can get contact details, etc. from that. Hopefully you're seeing that now, but I don't think you are. Or you might be. You're just seeing it in my window. There you go. Phew! Tried to do that as fast as I could.
Killed it. Absolutely killed it.
So anybody that wants to know more, drop it now to info@Insentra and we'll do a separate, more detailed demo for you.
Hey, Ronnie, thanks. It's Paul Bowkett here. Look, sorry you got a little bit squashed at the end there. I just want to, for the folk on the call, guys, honestly, the Nulia tool is just super, super powerful. I just posted a quick note there. I really genuinely think this product can help unlock, New Zealand productivity, right? And, so please take Ronnie's offer up to have a separate session, or maybe we'll schedule another one. If people are interested, let us know, and we'll schedule another session, more of a deep dive for a group of people. So thanks, Ronnie.
Thanks, Paul.
So I think we're at the end of our call, aren't we, Anusha? Guys, feel free to obviously drop any questions you've got in the chat, or even come off mute if you like. We'll still stay here for a few minutes, and we'll of course put the recording and the deck into Yammer. So make sure you are on Yammer and getting our announcements that we do via there. And for those that aren't, I'll post the link in the chat window now. Well, we've either confused the heck out of everyone, or we covered everything we needed to, because there's no questions by the look of it.
Great work, team.
Thanks for everyone for joining. Looks like most people are jumping off now, but it was good to see we had over 100 and something people on the call today. So thanks to all the partners that are still there and still listening for joining. And we'll be back again, of course, in a month's time as well. We'd love your feedback as well, guys. If you'd like to see some specific content, please let us know. We're guided a little bit by what comes down the pipe to us from Corp and by you guys. So let us know, and we're all ears.
Great. Thanks very much, all. Thanks, Microsoft team, for all your efforts in sharing of the content. It's awesome. This is Pip out. Thank you.
Cheers, Pip.
Thanks, everyone.